Hi everyone, Christina here. Welcome to another mail art video. This is actually a video that is on the Simon Says Stamp YouTube channel today, but they're kind enough to let me share it here as well. So thank you so much, Simon, and I hope you guys enjoy. This is just a really quick envelope using a stamp set from Concord and Ninth, and then some brush lettering. Enjoy! Hi everyone, Christina Werner here. Welcome to another mail art video for SimonsSaysStamp.com. When I started thinking about this envelope for this month, I wanted to use this stamp set from Concord and Ninth called Notable Numbers. I really love these large ornate numbers, and I thought that even though they're probably meant for some card making, you could use them for the house numbers and zip code on an address. So I thought it'd be really fun to use on an envelope today. So I'm using a really long number 10 business sized envelope. You can buy envelopes that are already this size or make your own using an envelope punch board or something like that. And I'm using a T-square ruler and just drawing some margins around the outer edge just to give myself some guidelines while I'm working on this envelope. Now, before I started filming, I did kind of map out the design that I wanted to create. So I have an idea in my head of exactly where these numbers will be placed on the finished envelope. So with that in mind, I'm tracing out where the postage stamps will eventually be. I'm not adhering them yet, just in case I really mess up on the envelope and I need to redo it. I don't want to waste those postage stamps. So I just outline them onto the envelope so I know where they will be. I'm going to be stamping with Acorn ink. This is VersaFine Clair ink. It's a pigment ink and it's waterproof and fade resistant. And it's a really pretty brown color that goes well with the brown color of this craft envelope. I'm starting at the very bottom of the envelope in that bottom right corner, and I'm stamping the zip code or postal code backwards. That's because I want to make sure that it's nice and flush with the right edge of the envelope. So I started on that end and then moved in. Now that I have that stamped, I'm going to draw another guideline right above that. And on this middle line, I'm going to be having the numbers for the house, her house number, the street address for Rose. By the way, Rose did give me her permission to use her address in this video, so thank you so much, Rosemarie. I appreciate it so, so much. So I stamped the house numbers in that same ink, and then I'm taking my ruler and drawing another line above that address line. I've swapped out. Now I'm going to be using a brown marker instead of some stamps. And this is a Tombow dual end brush pen. And I really, really love all of the Tombow markers because there's a wide variety of colors. So you can really switch it up and use whatever color you need. I wanted a couple different tones of brown, so I'm using that darker brown ink for the numbers, and then I'm using more of a mid-tone, almost caramel color for the actual writing. And like I said before, I did kind of map out my idea of where I wanted things to be. So I'm going to be doing a mixture of very simple capital letters and then also some more script brush lettering. So I'm using some really simple cap letters right now, and I'm also stacking the words for a little bit more interest. I'm writing very slowly. You'll notice I'm not moving through this really, really quickly. I'm taking my time and really allowing myself to get good letter forms. When it comes to addressing envelopes like this, where you have elements like the numbers and then the lettering, and it's all kind of puzzle pieced together, filling the entire envelope, it really is beneficial to map out your envelope design or even trace the size of the envelope onto some scratch paper and kind of do a run through of how you want the envelope to be before you move on to the actual envelope. I've done that plenty of times and it's really, really fun to do. The only time I really don't do that, or I don't encourage you to do that, is when you're doing a bunch of envelopes. For instance, if you're addressing envelopes for a wedding or a bridal shower or a party where you're going to be having the same kind of format over and over and over again, but the addresses will change, so you can't really have them in the same spacing. In that case, I really recommend simplifying your envelopes quite a bit and not doing something where everything has to be filled in with all the nooks and crannies and puzzle pieced together. Instead, give yourself some space on the outer edges of the address to accommodate different lengths of street addresses and city, states, and postal codes. So I'm moving on. I did add another guideline so that I can split that bottom left corner into two areas. And the top area, I used a really simple capital letter for the city. And then I'm using some really easy, simple brush lettering for the state. This is where I'm using the brush tip of this marker to its advantage, using those thicks and thins and really getting a nice script letter. I'm going to finish this off and dot the I's on the California. And then I'm going to do a bunch of erasing. I need to erase all of my guidelines, make sure everything's cleaned up so that I can finish off the envelope. This eraser is particularly nice. This is an arch eraser, and it's really soft on a lot of papers. I don't think I've had any papers get eaten up by this eraser yet, and I've used it on quite a few different surfaces, so I really recommend that eraser. So as far as the postage stamps go, I like to adhere them in a specific way, which is I spray some water onto a paper towel, and then I'll press those stamps into the wet area on the paper towel, and that activates the adhesive on the back of these old vintage postage stamps. The second stamp I'm going to be putting on the envelope today is actually a current USPS Forever postage stamp. So it's already adhesive on the back, so I'll just stick that down like a regular sticker. And then I'll put the other two stamps on there as well. Now, in these mail art videos, I usually get quite a few questions asking about the postage stamps, where I get them, things like that. I actually was gifted a bunch of vintage postage stamps from a blog reader, so I'm going through that stash, and I super appreciate her sending those to me. So a lot of these stamps I'm using are from her stash that she gifted to me, but you can also look online or look for other postage sellers. So here is the finished envelope. I hope you guys enjoy. This is a super fun envelope design, and I really enjoyed creating it. Thanks so much for watching today's video. I hope you guys love that envelope. I can't wait to get it into the mail. On screen, I've got 2 more videos for you to check out. These are both going to be mail art videos if you're interested in that sort of thing. And before you go, don't forget to subscribe and hit that notification bell when you do. You can also hit that thumbs up that lets me know you like this video, and you can also share it with a friend. Thanks so much for watching today, and I will see you guys on Monday for another holiday card series video.